and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Sean.
Happy Memorial Day.
Oh, yeah. Happy Memorial Day, and thank you for your service, and thank you, and we honor the ones that have fallen. I guess I saw somebody pointed out in one of the groups I followed, it was like, hey, just FYI, Memorial Day is not like a happy day, because you're really, the idea is that you're honoring the people that have fallen in battle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're thanking for the service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any relatives that befell that. I think my
You mean that died?
Yeah, that died in combat. I think my grandfather couldn't have went to the war because he lost his arm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about my grandma, my mom's father. I don't know about him, and my dad obviously was not in the service. But.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I have any relations that died in battle, but I have a lot of people in my family who served. So I mean, obviously, my dad was in Vietnam, and then all his uncles were in World War II.
Yeah,
like Uncle Lou was at Iwo Jima.
Yeah,
and he was one of the guys who would show up every anniversary at this memorial, and they would always honor them or whatever, and then the number just got smaller and smaller and smaller as they all died.
Yeah, you know what, it's a day off to reflect, let's put it that way.
Are we reflecting, or are we recording a podcast?
Both.
Good. Okay.
we reflected, and now we're going to record. Now we're going to talk about comics.
All right.
We're going to talk about
serious comics.
We're actually
We're going to follow up that very, very dark, deep topic with a conversation about comics.
Well, we kind of go into, because there is some military
well, I mean, yes,
stuff going on in this next one. Which...
I don't know if this is sanctioned military, but
no, we do not honor these people. Let's keep them out of this conversation.
Oh, no.
So, this is very dumb.
Yes.
But anyways, thanks for being here. Hey, I'm gonna remember, just like I can remember now. Worst collection ever on Gmail. Let me actually say it again. I already botched it. Worst collection ever at gmail.com is our email address. Please email us if you want to tell us that we're idiots about stuff, or if you want to just talk about the comics we read. We would really appreciate it. Also, YouTube, my Angry Hero 79 channel does upload the podcast every week. So you could find the new podcast there every week. And some people do.
Good.
I get random notes from people being like,
that's great.
I got one note recently. It was just you guys say crazy tangents. I'm like, God. I know.
Yeah, we know.
I know. But
we're aware.
We are aware of our buffoonery.
Oh, yeah.
And but you can also find us on YouTube. Or sorry, I said YouTube. Facebook, Worst Collection Ever. We're on there. And also the other social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky. I'm at Angry Hero Sean.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on whatever the fuck you're on.
Yeah, you pretty much can find us under those things.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's out of the way. I finally remembered it.
Yay.
So over the weekend was my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
When we record this is obviously Memorial Day, but yesterday was my birthday, and I'm a random number age, so I don't really
random number age.
Yeah, I'm not like one of the big. I'm not every 10.
Yeah,
Pat Oswalt says every 10 years you get a really cool birthday.
Oh, is that how that works?
That's what
we
that was
didn't get a really cool birthday on our last big birthday, though.
Well, we tried
in
to.
In fairness,
we tried to
because there was a pandemic.
Yeah, we didn't really. We tried. It wasn't for a lack of trying.
I know, we were supposed to go to Italy.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit. That was the end of that.
Yeah, in the world.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yay!
Let's keep it going. But yeah, but that's the bit. Pat Oswalt was like, every 10 years you get a birthday, because he was like, hey, I'm 26. Like, shut up, go to work.
Yeah.
Although, look, it is my day of birth. I think at this point in my life, I'm cool with just going to dinner.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's what we do now.
Hanging out with whoever, usually you and the cats and maybe some relatives if we have, if they're around, whoever, friends or whatever. And I like to. I think I'm trying to make it this way where because I did it last year too, where every year while we're here in town, I go to Mile High on my birthday.
Yep.
Or around my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's always interesting because I try not to go to, me personally, I try not to go to Mile High Comics, which obviously, if you're not familiar with Mile High Comics, in case you're new to the show or you're new, not really familiar with the area, it's a comic book store warehouse.
It's literally the comic book store you see in old comic books.
Yeah, there's a lot of, if you look at old comics from like the 80s and 90s, you'll see ads
where you can like order shit, like send in like a form to Mile High Comics. This is it. And it's a humongous warehouse owned by one guy in fucking Denver.
Yeah. And it's been around forever. And when we moved here, or just even I think we visited here, and I was like, oh, we should go here. I want to go here. And it's the expanse of it. Just everything that is there. And we've talked about it plenty of times here on the show, but it's overwhelming. It
is. And every time we go there, I feel like it changes.
It does change. Well,
like there's more shit, or like they've rearranged something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they've rearranged some stuff so you can actually they can have more content. Because I feel like they move some stuff around because I feel like they don't do as many big events there. They used to, because some days would do wrestling events.
Yeah, they used to have
drag shows.
Yeah, they used to have a stage.
Yeah,
which I feel they've kind of removed now. I don't know if they're just not doing it, or maybe they need some sort of permit. I have no idea. Yeah. But they don't have, no clue.
Well, I know they do the poker terms. I feel like those are easy to do because you just put a bunch of tables.
Right.
And you could just set it up or whatever. Or the auctions, you don't have to have
a stage,
a big giant. I mean, it'd be nice to have the stage, but I feel like they're hey, we got all this other stuff. We just need to have it. I always think it's interesting though that they have they'll have these big, I guess they're statues or structures, like comic book structures.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are just hidden in the corner.
Yeah.
There's this gigantic sentinel of some sort that is just if you're walking around, it's one of those things where you're just walking around, you're like, oh shit.
Well, I mean, they, what did I take up? Because every single time we go in there, I feel like they get a new one because they've got a Mando, these sculptures, basically. They have a Mandalorian, they have a Spider-Man, they have a weird, is it a Galactus thing with the eyes, or is that a Spider-Man with the eyes? Which one has the eyes? The blinks. Might be a Spider-Man. And then, but they got one of those, the dogs from Ghostbuster. What are those things called?
The Gozers.
The Gozers. Yeah. And actually it was pretty cool looking.
Oh, no, everything there looks awesome. I'm actually looking here. I took a picture. Yeah, I got this random, these random statues.
Yeah, of, like a Gambit over there.
It's a Gambit and a
Miss Marvel?
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah. And it's just, everything's just hanging out there, but it's just there.
Yeah.
And there's so much stuff when you're walking around, you don't know that they actually keep. It's great. And that's why I like going there as infrequently as possible. Because
they get stuff all the time.
Well, now they've kind of in this certain, because there used to be a back corner towards the wall where it was just mostly more trades, but now they've kind of changed that into a manga corner.
Yeah.
And there's videotapes, and there's also Japanese robot stuff, and it's wow, that's a very specific corner.
Yeah.
But you just the way you don't have a place where you have a map, you just walk around and you just find it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always kind of enjoyed kind of seeing the evolution of that.
Oh yeah.
I bought some stuff. If you go on our Facebook page or if you follow me on Instagram, whatever, you can see the stuff that I bought. I bought some of the action figure. I pretty much buy only action figures now.
You technically bought me a comic book.
Yeah. A Lois Lane.
A Lois Lane. They had a 50% off back issue sale. So I ended up with one Lois Lane because everything else was $87. And I'm no, but I will happily spend $3 on this Lois Lane.
I'm interested in seeing if that, I'll have to look and see if that fits into Lois Lane being a thing where we could read them in succession on the show. That's
kind of why
not that they actually follow a trend.
Oh no, they're all one shots. But I would really I don't think there's a Lois Lane trade.
We have one.
No, but I mean that's Lois Lane 75-year celebration. That's
there's one there, at least as far as I know, there was what do they call them? I think they're not Masterworks, that's the Marvel thing, but it's an archive. But there's only one that we bought.
Okay.
I think we have it, but I don't know if they've made any more.
Well, so that's what I mean, because when I was there at Mile High, because I love those they've got trades of the Flash Silver Age or Batman Silver Age, and they're really cool and I love them, but I feel like they put them out periodically and if you miss them, you miss them, right?
Yeah.
They have a Supergirl one that's Silver Age Volume 1. And I was like, oh, that would be cool. It'd be cool if they did something like that for Lois Lane or even like Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
You know, I would buy them because I'm an idiot.
Well, those are the ones that you kind of like. There are some Jimmy Olsen ones too, but they're just not like.
Well, the Jimmy Olsen one I have is like a black and white one.
There's a black and white one,
which
but
I
there's
don't
also
love.
one where it's like the strange transformations of Jimmy Olsen. There's like a 2-volume one of that, which I think we have an issue. But I would just like to say, like, I would just like to see like just a regular like ongoing thing like they would do for like what's his face? What's their face? Like Doom Patrol or something.
Yeah.
Like they just collected all the My Greatest Adventures and up until it turned Doom Patrol into the end, you know, and obviously, you know, when that rebooted, they found ways to collect that. But, you know, but it just collect that stuff. So like it's there, you know, because somebody will buy it. I think somebody, I mean, there's people that will buy that stuff.
Oh,
especially
me, I'm an idiot.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Like get that out there and get that, you know, collected because, you know, those single issues, like you can't, it's hard to track those shit down.
I know.
Yeah, if you're trying to get like a full Jimmy Olsen or whatever. Those books went on for a long time.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Because like at Mile High, you know, you have like, you walk in, you're in a big giant warehouse and there's like a bunch of back issues kind of like on all these tables. Those are the more modern things. Over in a corner, kind of like not really walled off, but kind of walled off, if that makes any sense, is where you have like the golden, silver, Bronze Age stuff, back issues that you can go over. And like, it's just drawers full of all these comics. So you literally just go and you're like, okay, they have it all separated out. It's like, here's Marvel alphabetized, here's DC alphabetized. They even have independent, right? And so you just kind of go up to the drawer. They even have little stools you can sit on and you just kind of go through them.
That's something I've never really taken advantage of while we've...
And then I go over there every time we go. And I mean, they have at least 4 drawers full. And these are big drawers, like full of Jimmy Olsen. And it goes from Golden Age all the way out. And you can just look through them. And some of them, you like, you know, it's like $250 for this one comic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did have the first appearance of Darkseid.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that one's in there. It's not everyone, but you can like flip through and see what they have. Because I went and I looked at the Lois Lanes being like, well, maybe I'll get one, which I ended up doing. But one of the first ones that was in there was a Golden Age Lois Lane that had like a wrestling ring on the front cover.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this one.
And that was like $180. And they're not even in good shape, some of these, because they're not graded. These are just like random comics.
Well, that was the other thing too that we, it kind of relates to what we're working on today. When you go to Mile High, so above those drawers, they have like this giant wall that goes up to the ceiling. It just kind of has like spaces where you put all these different comics, right? Like all these issues or whatever. And it's a mix of all sorts of different stuff. One thing that I notice I always like to do is I always like to have when it's like variant issues of things, especially of modern stuff, they'll just collect all of them and just put them up there.
Yeah.
But this is the thing we've talked about a few times, you know, even before we took a break or whatever. It's just that you go to a store and they'll be selling a comic book that we've bought for maybe $1 to 50 cents or just a ridiculously cheap. And now it's like 20, 30, 40 bucks.
And that is exactly what happened.
And it's a kind of what happened with this.
Literally the run we're reading right now.
But here's the catch though, is that, and look, and feel free, if you're listening, feel free to weigh in on this. Cause I feel like maybe we're not necessarily we're not really comic book collectors per se. You know, we don't get shit graded.
No.
Like I wanted to get stuff graded and they were like, it's going to cost you all this much money. He's like, you know what? I'll just put it in a nice case and I'll just leave it out of the sun.
Yeah, right.
You know, because I got some of my dad's stuff that's just sitting there and it's like, well, you know what? We'll just hold on to that and make sure nothing happens to it.
That's like that trade that you got me. So Sean bought me this romance trade called Heartthrobs. It's like a bunch of collected DC comics. Now they have this trade at Mile High for $540.
Right. It's out of print.
You happen to find it for $30 on eBay.
Yeah.
Which thank God. But I literally have it in a Ziploc bag and I keep it out of the sun. And I'm like, good enough.
But then here's the thing. So the books we've been working on these past couple of weeks, the Batman, Blizzard of the Dark Knight,
Venom,
the Venom saga.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that this book, if I recall, I'm pretty sure we found this at...
Oh, we found it somewhere.
Why am I blanking out? Jeffries. I feel like this was like a thing where like a Jeffries or a Pulp Fiction where you just...
All I know is I am the one who bought this just because I buy all the Batman shit. I guarantee you I pulled it out of a dollar box.
You pulled it out of a dollar box?
I don't know where. It was somewhere in Southern California.
And we have the full run of it.
Yes, we do.
All 5 issues of this run.
Mm-hmm.
The first issue of which is the first appearance of the drug Venom.
Yes.
So we bought that real cheap back in the day. I'm almost certain.
Yeah.
So I don't think we would have paid more than that much for it.
Oh, no.
I would just be like, well, whatever. It's just an issue of the Venom. It's whatever. I don't really need it.
No, I guarantee you I did not pay over $1 for this.
But we found it and whatever. But we're at Mile High and you saw this. I saw it too. The issues that they have there, I'm sure they're probably boarded, but they're not graded. They're somewhere around the upwards of what's the highest one?
I think it was like $44 because I actually took a picture of it. It's not easy to see, but I might be able to zoom in on it because I think the lowest was 38.
Hey, look, it's not. That's
okay,
not
hold on. 34 for the first one, 48 for the second, 48 for the third, 38 for the one we're going to read today, $30 for the last one. It doesn't look like they are in any better shape than the one we have. And the one we have is in pretty damn good shape.
Well, a mint comic, like there are much more.
Yes, there's stuff that's way, way better. I mean, obviously this is a comic book that has been read, but there's no rips, there's no creases. There's no dings, nothing. It's in really good shape.
I would say that this is probably I want to say this is like very fine, but I'm probably even giving it more credit than it deserves.
I don't know. I would say very fine.
But the thing is, I don't know what's said on those books. Does it say
it does have stickers on them? Hold on, let me pull it back up.
So I'd be curious, but
honestly, I don't. Again, just looking at these pictures, let's see. So the first one says very fine. Second one, which is one of the most expensive, does not have a sticker at all.
There you go.
Third one, no sticker. Fourth one says very fine. Fifth one does not have one. And so we're looking at stuff that they don't even have stickers saying if they're like in good condition and they're like $48.
They're in a condition.
Yeah, they're in a condition. Yeah, and again, they don't look that much better than what we have.
Like it's like it's like the top's a little bit brown. It's like, well, yeah, because it's old.
Of course. But those don't look like they're pristine either.
No. And so I don't get it. I think the point of it is like I just don't quite understand. Like there's no way that I could walk in. I'm almost guaranteeing you, like if I walked into Mile High or I walked into any other comic book store, that had the same issue on the wall and said, "Hey, how much can I get for this?" They probably give me $1. Of
course.
Like, what I mean? Like, there's been some instances where like maybe like if I've dropped off some books somewhere, you might get like a bit more for it. But it's not a thing where I don't know. I haven't at least as far as current comics goes. Now I understand. Look, 1991. This book is well on its way to 30.
Well, yeah, it's vintage at this point.
It's extremely. It's much more vintage.
Anything over 10 years old apparently is vintage. So
yeah. So I don't know. It's just I'm very confused by that because I don't really feel that these books, that some of the ones that I have in our thing, in our collection, are worth it. Because that's why I always say it's like this is our collection. It's not worth shit. It's not worth shit. It's just a bunch of garbage we bought from a dollar bin, and a lot of it, may have some of it may have significance. Some of it, most of it doesn't.
Yeah, so. I mean, some of it, like shit. That one issue that I pulled out of something, a dollar box where we have fucking Aquaman's baby dies.
Yeah,
like I'm sure that issue has some sort of significance, but shit, I didn't know. I just pulled it out of a dollar box.
I don't know what's going on this one.
Oh Lord.
So, anyways, but so that was interesting on this time around to kind of see that. The other thing I just wanted we talk about real quick is we were kind of hypothesizing, just batting it around, like the owner of this place, Chuck Rosansky.
Yep.
I've never really met the guy, but if you do go there, sometimes you'll
see him. Yeah, you'll see him on around. I think I've seen him a couple times. Like he has like a pottery collection that's up.
He's got
it's like private and it's upstairs. Sometimes you can see him up there.
Yeah, there's like it's like a thing where he sells like specific.
He has like a lot of like Native American pottery and stuff.
I don't know if he is Native American partly.
That I don't know. I know he just collects. He collects shit. He's a collector.
he looks like I wasn't saying this much. He looks like the definition of the oldest hippie.
Oh, 100%.
You know, that's how this guy's always been, I bet. And it's, you know, I mean, and look, you know, he seems like a very nice fellow. You know, he's very, he's a drag queen himself.
Yeah.
You know, he's done that before.
Which apparently he didn't do until he was like way older.
Yeah.
He has like a whole thing about it, but like he, you know, very.
And I don't think he's not gay or anything.
No, he's married. At least as far as I know, he's married to a woman.
I know he's got children.
He has children and stuff like that. But yeah, he's very, you know, love is love and, you know, accepting of everybody, and which is great. You know,
to the point where you
want a place like that.
When you go from the parking lot across the tracks and you cross the tracks, there's a rainbow bridge.
It is literally a rainbow bridge. Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
Because you have to like. When you go to Mile High, again, it's a fucking warehouse.
It's a warehouse.
And at the very end of a street in an industrial area.
Yeah.
So it's just, there's nothing but other warehouses. So they're, you know, getting from the parking lot to the entrance can be a pain in the ass, especially if it rained, because there's just fucking puddles and mud and like, yeah. So there is that like bridge that kind of cuts you through all that shit.
But what was interesting though is that, you know, that building's been there forever, you know, and it's been through its ups and downs or whatever. Was there a fire there at one point?
I don't know.
Think about a different location.
It might have been a different location. I know that. So he owns that warehouse.
Yeah.
Like he owns it. And I know he's talked about like, and it's again, in this industrial area that is rapidly gentrifying because there's a bunch of little tiny houses. And every time we go by, it's like they've been bought in like a big square mansion that's there now.
Right. That's the thing. I keep thinking about that. And I'm like, well, Chuck is up there. He's in his late 60s.
Late 60s, yeah.
Whatever. And
what happens when he passes?
Like, I would imagine he's got something in place for this.
I would hope so.
Maybe his kids or whoever. But it's also very possible that once he leaves, you know, this building may be sold. And it would suck. But also, like, what happens to all that product? You know, or you know, do people in the industry that have been, you know, very thankful or very, very much influenced by, you know, Mile High Comics just as an entity for as long as it's been around, are they going to chip in to keep it around?
That would be cool. I mean, because Chuck's been around forever.
Yeah.
You know, and there's like, because he has a website, and if you ever go to Mile High's website, is the oldest fucking thing you've ever seen.
It's like GeoCity shit.
He literally will not change from it, because I guess that's how he knows how to work it or whatever. But you can read. Like, he always writes these huge blogs about, like, what's been going on and da-da-da-da-da. And he was writing about how, like, when he first started this was back in, like, the late 70s, early 80s?
I think it was mid 70s.
Yeah, he would talk about how, like, he literally would just take a whole shit ton of comics in his van and, like, drive to Comic-Con and, like, sleep in his fucking van and, like, sell stuff.
Yeah.
And it just kind of became, like, so everybody probably knows who this guy is.
Yeah.
Because he's been around for so long. So I'm assuming there are plenty of like professionals, big name professionals who know who he is, and who anytime they come to Denver, they probably stop by Mile High. It's like what people do. So it's kind of like, when Chuck passes, would it be like what Quentin Tarantino did with The New Beverly, where he just bought it and that sort of thing? I mean, because I would hate to see it go away. It's just such a weird, interesting place.
It's a very interesting place. And for comic book fans, for pop culture fans, you know, especially the way that comic book culture has evolved in the past 10, 15 years. Like, you know, that's a place to be, because you're, you know, you're experiencing everything there. You're experiencing the past, present, and future.
I mean, like, literally anything you're into, any niche that is kind of tangentially connected to pop culture, you will find something there in Mile High for you. Like, they've got that whole fucking wall of manga now. Like, just
manga, you know,
anything you wanted, you know, action figures. They've got Barbies, they got Christmas shit. Like,
they got
whatever you're into, you can find it.
Star Wars section. You got, you know,
I saw X-Files trades there.
Oh yeah, it's all there. It's all there.
Yeah, it's all there. So
yeah,
there's definitely, you can find something if you go there, even though it is kind of expensive.
It's a bit more expensive probably because the rent there is really high, and then you know, all taxes. That stuff and taxes and stuff. But it's a real, we're pretty spoiled living here in Denver and just being able to like drive, you know, like 20 minutes down the highway to get there. And spend an hour or two there and just take it in. Not everybody gets a chance to do that, but yeah, I don't know. I just was wondering, like, what's going to happen? Like, are they going to try to sell this stuff? Like, I mean, there's literally Avengers #4.
Yeah.
Avengers #1, I think maybe too.
I'm sure.
There's literally amazing. There might, as far as I think, Amazing Fantasy number.
Oh, I'm sure there is
15 or 17.
I mean, you literally walk in and there's like cases that are glass, and there's also above it they have those like things on the wall that display comics, but it literally is like whatever #1, $10,000 or whatever, and it's right there.
Yeah.
It's
right
insanely expensive, but you can actually see it. You
can actually see it, and you can actually buy it.
You could,
if you were to come in.
I'm not gonna, but I mean, if I had money, like if I was rich, I'd be like, I'll buy it. I'll fucking buy Mile High from Chuck, and we'll run it until we die. Why not? But we're not rich, so alas, that is not going to happen, which is too bad.
According to the latest report from falsifiedstats.com, there are currently 12 million active comic book podcasts clogging up the internet superhighway, and 2.3 million new comic book podcasts are being created every single day. If you're looking for something a little different, then let me tell you about Mike's Comic Shop Roadshow. Mike travels the globe and visits comic shops along the way, talking to the owners, or really just whomever happens to be minding the store that day. And it's through these conversations that you'll meet some wonderful people and learn how comic shops are run in places like Murfreesboro, Illinois, and Liverpool, New South Wales, Australia. So check out Mike's Comic Shop Roadshow, a truly unique comic book podcast among billions of the same old, same old. Find it now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Mike, and I approve this message.
But Viva La Mile High Comics. Let us cherish them forever, and let's cherish this book we have.
Oh man, this wonderful Legends of the Dark Knight.
Yeah, let's get into it. Legends of the Dark Knight. It is number 19. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight. Excuse me, number 19 from June 1991. Venom Part 4 of 5. The team. Story by Denny O'Neil. Layouts, or I guess just art by Trevor Von Eden and Russell Braun. And Jose Luis Garcia Lopez does the inks. So the cover of this book is awesome. It is Batman basically trying to pry open the jaws of a shark.
Yes.
Well, on top of it.
We love Batman fighting animals.
Yes. Yeah, we always love Batman fighting animals. I actually, just real quick, I just like this ad here because it's like the sales, whatever, like you cut it out and send it in to get your comics or whatever.
Yes.
And I just like this banner image of Batman or Superman flying. It says convenience and savings. I kind of would actually think that would be a great like poster to have over your comics.
Oh yeah.
If you're in a store, just like convenience and savings.
Oh my God, I would totally have that. When I buy Mile High Comics.
Well, actually, that's gonna be the new title of the story: "Convenience and Savings." Like, just Superman flying at you. It's like, oh, okay. But Venom Part 4, we start off right away with these super soldiers being created by General Slaycroft, and also the doctor's name is Russell Porter.
Okay,
if I recall.
I always forget that guy's name.
Yeah, he's a guy. But the drawing is great because you see the general being attacked, and then you just see these guys in these, these green jumpsuits, just literally walking like zombies.
Yes, and
with their hands out.
You know what? So as we were reading this, you know what this starts to remind me of? Basically, this is Universal Soldier.
Oh yeah.
That's what this is.
Actually, this makes sense because I think that movie came out around this time.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah, or maybe it was probably 91. Yeah. I think I have to double check. But
which, if you're not familiar with Universal Soldier, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he is a soldier, and they turn him into basically a fleshy killing machine. Him and a bunch of other guys that are all controlled by, and it's not drugs; it's some sort of implant in their brain.
Yeah.
But it's the same general idea.
It's a great movie. Also, speaking of great movies, Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth. Remember that one?
No, I don't think I've ever seen that.
That was an episode of We Hate Movies where like the helicopter blew up on the steps of the Alabama Capitol or something.
Did it have something to do with a judge? Was there a courtroom scene?
There's a courtroom scene, yeah.
Maybe that. Okay.
And I'd have to listen. Henriksen's in it, and he plays a biker guy.
I'd have to listen to it again. It's been so long.
It's one of those movies
I'm working my way back through.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where you watch it and you're like, man, back in the 90s.
Shit used to happen.
Well, shit used to happen where they used to do it for real.
Well,
and I know it's just being, we kind of sound like old man, whatever, but
yeah, pretty much.
Crazy.
But
it's crazy. I was watching real quick. We were watching, was it Beneath the Planet of the Apes?
Yes.
And
yes.
I think you were sleeping.
I fell asleep. Yes, I did.
The movie, I think the movie's boring.
It is.
I wasn't very impressed with it. But there is a scene where like the apes are throwing a net at like they're training or something.
Okay.
And they're training with like the the humans they capture. And one's riding a horse, and they threw the net on this horse and the guy riding it, and the guy falls off the horse. The horse rolls on top of the guy.
Oh my God.
The horse takes a bump. It's a real 1970 horse.
That poor horse.
The poor horse took a bump on top of a guy. I could not believe it. Was like watching Soylent Green.
Uh-huh.
And there's that scene where there's a people mover.
Yes.
And they're literally picking people up in the scoop, and they're falling out of the scoop into like another thing.
Yeah.
But that's like real bodies.
Real fucking people falling out of
just people. It's not just like one person at a time.
And it's not just dummies. It's literal people.
Literal people, and more than one person at a time falling out of the thing at once, as if it was really moving people, like it really would. It's not like a controlled, like, like cutaway. It's just like a full shot of these bodies falling out. Like, how are you falling correctly to not fall on somebody else and break those legs? Like,
right?
I mean, this fucking horse just rolled on top of a dude.
I know.
Wow. Anyways, these zombie men, including the general's son, Timothy, the tall teenager.
Yeah, as we talked about last time.
They're attacking just a random village or some sort.
Yeah, just some random village that's on this island. I think it's like a test to see how well this stuff is working, because we didn't see this in the last one. We thought they were just kind of juicing up the dopey son, but apparently they have been doing this to a few people.
Well, it's been, I think, as we kind of learn later, it's been like 6 months.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So it's been a while since they've kind of enhanced everything, but the son is just grabbing somebody by the head, but some of the other stuff going around it is crazy. You got this bald dude giving a lady a backbreaker. It's like Jesse Ventura giving a backbreaker to son. Was it in the X-Files he gave somebody a backbreaker?
I don't remember him giving anybody a backbreaker, because he just kind of comes in and he like has a spiel and he drives away.
Oh, okay. Maybe
because he plays a man in black in that one episode.
Oh, maybe I was thinking maybe that's in Batman and Robin.
Oh, because
he plays a security guard.
Oh yeah, no, he only plays a man in black in the X-Files in that Jose Chung's From Outer Space episode.
There's a dude here who looks like Abe Lincoln getting choked, and then there's a guy punching a woman in the neck. It makes it look like her neck is missing. I
think her neck is missing, and basically the large son just goes around like popping heads.
Yeah, he's a head popper.
Yeah.
And the guns aren't doing anything. There's another dude that does a double sledge to a head.
Yep.
There's a guy killing his grandmother. It is pandemonium, and
because they kill the son, and I guess the grandmother's standing there saying like, "Oh, I'm his grandmother," and then like the general actually kills the old woman. And he breaks her neck.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, it is.
He doesn't.
Oh, I thought that was him for some reason.
No, he's just kind of calling shots.
Just yelling.
But like the son, this woman's.
Oh, for some reason I thought he just like walked up and was like, "Shut up," and then he's like, "It worked well."
No, he's just like this random dude just breaks a woman's neck, and we're just bodies everywhere.
R.I.P.D. And they're like, "Should we burn this village?" And they're like, "Nah."
It was like, we don't have to.
Yeah, there's no reason to. Let's not expend energy if we don't need to.
Look. Less village burning, more neck punching.
Yeah, exactly. More head popping, less fire.
We talked about how to disintegrate necks. We didn't tell them how to set fires.
Exactly, and they're doing very well with the disintegration of the neck.
So we have a scene here with Batman and Detective Gordon, and it's like Gordon's like, "Where have you been, man? It's been 6 months." He's like, "I was sick, Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, it's been 6 months since you tried to murder murder me.
Man, you tried to murder me last time. Yeah, that's kind of sucked. I do enjoy, though, it's just Batman comes in, he's like, hey, so what do you know about these people? And Gordon's like, I don't know. They tried to kill me, or you said they said they wanted to kill me. I don't know. And he's like, well, here's everything I know about them. So goodbye. Like, why did you ask?
Because he's like, we don't have social visits. And he's like, I know that these people are in Santa Prisca. And Gordon's like, well, that island is controlled by drug dealers and they don't deal with any like official agencies.
Controlled by a drug cartel that emphatically does not cooperate with any recognized authority.
Exactly. And honestly, good for them.
You know what? Cool.
And Batman and Gordon's like, so, it's kind of beyond our jurisdiction, obviously. And Batman's like, not beyond my.
Yeah. He's like, I'm Batman. I also emphatically do not cooperate with any recognized authority.
100% he does not.
I have my own sovereign nation. Batmania.
You know what? Batman would be a sovereign citizen. I can 100% see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're back on the island here, and the doctor
is apparently also on drugs.
He's taking drugs, and he kind of the reason why we understand his daughter, he's not grieving about his daughter is because he's taking drugs to like alter his reality.
Yeah.
So he doesn't care about them. It's like, but why kill your daughter?
Yeah.
Like, I still don't understand why his daughter had to be the impetus for this.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it doesn't matter, but he's basically on drugs to like rid himself of this, of any sort of emotion, because he's like, I have to block out everything else so I can like focus on my genius intellect.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
But then this is the part where he's like, hey, General, like, if you want some drugs, I can do that for you. He's like, maybe I can get you something for your constipation.
Because he's being a pain in the ass.
He's like, and the general's like, I like living with my own pain, mister.
Yeah. He's like, all right, suit yourself. You're fucking nuts.
Okay, General, I can't shit.
Right. Yeah, be shitty or,
General Metamucil.
General Metamucil.
Oh, no. You think Batman just starts dropping Metamucil and like Kaopectate on them? It's
well,
like,
that might
no.
help that guy.
I know, but he's like, no, I must live with my diverticulitis. Diverticulitis.
Yeah.
The guy probably eats like raw meat.
Ew.
They're talking like, about these soldiers.
Yeah, they're like, wow, it really works because they've been standing at attention for 9 hours.
He created a certain part of this drug that also like induces hypnosis, where they literally can just stand there and not do anything until they are given orders.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't even have to go to the bathroom. They don't sleep. They just stand.
Yep.
That's how it works. And but the plan with the general here is, I will have this disciplined army. First, we're gonna go to Africa. We're gonna try it out there.
Yeah.
We're gonna take these 5 guys. Just 5 guys.
Just 5.
This is how the 5 Guys franchise started. It's these 5 guys.
Shit! This is it.
So they went to Africa. They're gonna go to Africa, and then they were gonna go to the U.S. and they were gonna take over the government.
Yeah.
And crush the godless hordes that threatened us. Right.
Well, there you go.
The 5 guys. But they got there, and they made burgers. The end.
We're like, you know what? Instead of taking over the government, we're gonna open up a fast food franchise.
You know what we're gonna do? They'll really stick it to them. We're gonna have peanuts. Throw them on the floor. Actually, can you throw the peanuts on the floor there?
No, I don't think so.
They have them.
They do have them, but I think you just have to. You're not supposed to throw them on the floor.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming they still end up on the floor.
Well, he's being oppressed. Then the 5 guys.
Yes.
5 guys cannot toss their shells on the floor.
Oh no.
Anyways, so now Batman and Alfred are flying in a plane.
I do have to wonder, why are we bringing Alfred on this? I mean, I get it because I guess
Alfred's flying the plane.
No, Bruce is flying the plane.
No, later on he shows there's a scene where he's flying the plane.
But isn't Bruce sitting in the pilot seat in that picture right there?
I don't know. There's a scene later where Alfred's flying the plane.
Okay, because Bruce is in the pilot seat.
Okay, no, I see that here.
Yeah, again, why? It looks like he's chartering a plane.
He chartered, so we find out that he went to Haiti.
Chartered a plane
in
cash.
In cash.
Why he didn't use the bat plane? I don't know.
Well, could it be too recognizable? Brian knows that. Also, can it seat Alfred?
Why are you bringing him in the first place?
I don't know. Also, why does Alfred got to wear his
fucking
tuxedo?
butler uniform.
You're wearing like I mean, Bruce is in some sort of flight,
he's in a flight suit with a hat.
UPS guy.
Yeah, he is. He's dressed like a UPS guy.
Like why can't Alfred wear a flight suit?
Right. I'd be like, oh, it's not like it doesn't seem like Alfred has any sort of purpose here, except maybe
except for him to be something to happen with him.
Right.
Like.
But I mean, like, other than that, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe Alfred's really worried Bruce is going to, fall back on the sauce or the drugs or whatever.
No, maybe he's like, you know what? I need my sponsor with me. So
maybe that's it. And Bruce is like, I can't go without my sponsor.
Well, this is where we get some information though about both of these guys, both of the doctor and the general. Randolph Porter was a Gotham University professor, and he gave grad students a bunch of drugs. One killed themselves, and the other became psychotic.
Oops.
And he walked on a technicality, but I would like to know what a technicality is.
What kind of technicality?
Well, no, what is a technicality? Like, how does it work? Like, how do you just
like a technicality is like, yeah, you did this, but because I don't know, this evidence doesn't line up or somebody didn't log it correctly, you get off. That sort of shit.
That's how Freddy Krueger got off.
Yeah.
But then we learned about the general. There's a routine investigation where 18 troops died under his command. And then there was also something about his wife's death in an explosion.
Yeah. So implying that this guy killed his own wife. This guy just loves to kill.
That guy's wife was that guy's daughter on Unsolved Mysteries, whose daughter died in an explosion. One of the coldest endings to Unsolved Mysteries ever. Actually, to any TV show ever. For real life, there's a lot of like real life documentaries that show up, and you're just like, man, that sucks. This one was like, I think
that was so funny.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about it, but
oh yes,
it's just a old guy looking for his daughter. Man, I really wish for my daughter. Find my daughter. And at the end, he's like, man, one day I'll find my daughter, and it just shows her picture, and it just has the graphic that says he found out later that his daughter died in an explosion.
Yes, when she was 18.
It's like holy shit. Like, first of all, I understand dying when you're 18 and it sucks. Like, things happen, like car accident, an explosion. Like, where the hell was this?
This is a very good question.
There should be an Unsolved Mysteries about that.
What kind of explosion are we talking here?
It's about that. And it's just like, explosion. Done.
Yeah, right?
It's actually so kind of like that. Actually, another example of a real cold ending was it the one WWE training proving ground thing where the guy's like, man, I'm looking forward to being a superstar, and Triple H brings him in, he's like, you're cut. I
really enjoyed which one was it with the guy with the gators and the
ZZ, yeah.
Man, that was
he wore flippy floppy. That's why I say flip flops. I go flippy floppies.
That was insane.
That guy had charm. That guy had some charm to him, but he wasn't probably a very good worker.
Oh no, I think that's why we never saw him again.
Also, other one I'd never seen it. I didn't see it live, but I saw it on the Instagram or something. It was like some dude. It was like that Beat Shazam show. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the one where you have to guess the song?
Yeah. And so the guy is like, they play a song, and it's like, the guy's like, and he's like, oh, Lifehouse, How to Save a Life, or whatever. And then it just cuts to his like memorial graphic right after.
Oh, that's right. Because he like died before
he died before they aired it. It's just like dead. I'm like, whoa. Hold this ice.
Oh.
I feel bad about it, but I also love it.
You know what I would like? When I die, I hope somebody stuffs me into the sacrificial Pop-Tart costume.
Ooh.
That occurred at that fucking college bowl game. Which we as a country do not discuss enough.
I want to say this much. If there was anybody that was smart enough in TV to do this, if there's ever in a CSI episode where they bring out that machine,
they have to,
and
it just flattens people.
Right, but what happens is, guy goes in there to be the Pop-Tart, comes out a real dead body.
Real dead Pop-Tart.
Gil Grissom has to figure out who did it.
And when they go to try to actually eat the pieces of the Pop-Tarts, there's actually a body.
It's actually a body. It's like like you're picking up, like the football players are picking up like fevers.
Oh God. Because like just in case that nobody.
It's just a lumpy Pop-Tart. It wasn't actually cooked properly because there's human remains.
Just in case you don't know what this is, last college football season, whenever the fuck that was.
Yeah, I think it was the beginning of the year.
Yeah. They had a bowl game and it was sponsored by Pop-Tarts. And at the end of the game, a giant toaster came out. And on top of it was a frosted Pop-Tart holding like a sign that said like dreams come true or something. And then the Pop-Tart was lowered into the toaster. And then on the side where all the players were, a giant Pop-Tart came out that everybody then ate on camera.
Like grabbed.
Like literally
like,
ate.
It was like a scene from like Troll 2. It was literally that guy going like, oh no, they're going to eat me. And they literally started grabbing pieces of this guy.
And I was like, what the fuck? Who did this? Who thought this up?
And
how much cocaine was involved?
I wish it was. I would be like, if I found out cocaine was involved, I'd be like, if I was in charge of the company, I'd be like, we need more cocaine.
We need 100%, because if that's the kind of idea,
we need more crates. Actually, if I found out that, if I was like Pillsbury toaster strudels, I'd be like, let's get the coke in here.
Oh man,
let's start thinking about ways.
I think about that like once a week.
As you should.
That Pop-Tart.
Again, country's not talking enough about it.
I think about it all the time. Just how fucking dark that is. That you just
because by the time
an excited Pop-Tart that you lower into a fucking thing and then everybody eats it in front of a stadium full of people.
And when they were eating it, all they left were the eyes.
Only one. Only one eye.
Only one eye.
And because it was like, it's a Pop-Tart. It was a strawberry Pop-Tart. Whatever's left is red. So it left this one eye and just this red mass of gore.
This is why you come here.
Oh my God.
For this sort of analysis. Oh, Batman, why'd you make us talk about this?
I don't even know why we started talking about it, but you know what?
Can we talk about his wife dying in an explosion? And then we just started having this hilarious discussion here. Anyways, Batman's flying over. They got the doctor and the president.
Yeah, because he's trying to take some like pictures of the compound. Batman is.
Yeah. He's trying to take pictures. He's like, ooh, look at that. Ooh,
yeah, because he's like, I'm not going to go down there until I get like, some sort of intel.
Yeah.
But the general's like, I think the person who chartered that plane, because they heard about it.
Well, they put residents, they put Gotham City,
exactly,
cave or whatever.
Seriously.
And so the doctor doesn't believe that.
Well, that's Batman. The thing. The doctor thinks that Batman has been so drugged that he's like in an institution, just like babbling. But the general doesn't buy it. He's like, our friend has a lot of resources and he seems to be very determined. So I don't believe it. So I'm going to pull out my trusty friend, the rocket launcher. Just in case, because guess what? This will take down any sort of small aircraft that might be wandering over our compound. And what do you know?
Well, like he's got this thing ready loaded, and Batman is taking these pictures, and all of a sudden he just sees he gets a real good shot of this rocket launcher coming at him. He's like, yoinks!
He's like, oh no!
To which the laser starts coming, and he just shoves Alfred out of the plane. Oh my God,
that is a hilarious picture. It is so fucking funny. Because the way he's shoving Alfred out of the plane, it looks like he's just trying to murder him.
Well, Alfred's also like, Master Bruce.
And he's wearing a tuxedo.
And he's not James
tails.
Bond.
With tails.
The tail. Oh, God, that's right. There's tails. He's got the tail. Man, what if the tails got caught in the jet engine and he died?
Right, well, no capes for a fucking reason. No tails.
No tails. So the plane explodes. Alfred gets tossed.
Mm-hmm.
To a different part of the island. Real quick here, something I thought was interesting. So Batman Full Circle is the riveting sequel to Batman Year 2, which is in whatever the series. There's the Reaper, this character, the Reaper.
I saw that. I thought that looked kind of cool.
This guy, I could have sworn was like a very recent character.
Oh, really?
Like I didn't realize he was around like this part, because there's like an action figure and I was like, oh yeah, I should get this guy. But like,
I know is he looks fucking cool.
It's 91. It's actually very interesting looking for 91.
Yeah, it's nice
to pop up here. But anyway, so Batman lands in the jungle. He turns into Batman.
Yeah, because he like literally takes off like his UPS outfit and he's wearing the bat costume underneath it. And he's like, well, I'm not famous enough that people here would know I'm Bruce Wayne, but I just feel better being Batman.
Yeah. And then he's hiding in a tree and a bird gives him away. The bird just flies in front and goes, ah!
Yeah. So there's like a bunch of guys who like come over to where, from the compound just to see where he is. And so he's like, I will hide quietly in this tree. And this fucking bird, a parrot, flies up. And so Batman has to like jump down and like punch dudes in the face.
Yeah, he's about to kill a dude too, because he's like, I got a gun. Do I kill him? He's like, no.
Yeah.
And then the general sends out his soldiers, and he's like, and then we also got the nation, the country's force as well, and he gets the general gets the Iggy, gets the heads up that Alfred's stuck in a tree somewhere or something, or not.
Yeah.
He landed somewhere.
Yeah,
so
he went like to the other side of the island.
So they find he's been found, and Batman finds his parachute, and he's like, well, either he's hiding or he's dead. And Batman sits there and just waits in the darkness. It's just like a little sitting here with a little kid.
I know, he's like sitting there with the kid. Is this the part where he's like, he's sort of sleeping but not sleeping?
Yeah. He's like
in a tree. He's like, well, I don't have anything else to do, so I guess I'm going to take myself a nap until it gets dark.
He's doing what he's like a Chuck Norris thing. It's like Chuck Norris does not sleep; he waits.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is. So as he's waiting, the general flies by in a helicopter, just hangs Alfred, tails and all, out of the helicopter, and he's like,
hey there, Batman, we got your friend. In an hour, he's gonna bleed.
In an hour, he's gonna bleed. We're gonna feed him to sharks. So
be there.
And Alfred is just sassy the whole time. He's saying this, and then he just goes rather uncivilized, I must say. It's like, dude, you're wearing coattails and hanging off a helicopter.
I know. We love Alfred. He is the best.
He is the best. Actually, the sass continues. This man is crucified between two sticks and is about to be eaten by sharks, and he is still like talking shit.
Oh, it's absolutely. Great. And you know what? Good for you, Alfred.
So Batman shows up on the beach, and he's like,
this is very funny.
And Batman's like, and they're like, hey, so we should like negotiate. And Batman's like, fuck that.
Yeah, because he's
taking my shirt off.
He's like, hey, guess what? I got some drugs. You want some drugs? And Batman's like, doesn't even answer. And then he's like, I got to go get Alfred. Takes off his shirt.
But I'm like,
why? Why is he He went swimming in it before. I don't.
He swam in it a lot. I feel like he's probably swam in it a lot, but this time.
No. This time you got to see how fucking ripped this man is.
He's looking.
Because he got them gains.
He got them gains.
He got them gains after he sat in the fucking Batcave and like wasted away for a month.
Batman got shoulder neck.
Oh, Batman definitely has shoulder neck.
Batman got them Goldbergs going.
As we all know, shoulder neck, as I define it, is when a dude is so muscled that it looks like he has a smaller man.
The traps look like there's a smaller man's shoulders that are trapped inside of a bigger man.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. That's shoulder neck.
Somebody once called them the Goldbergs. The traps, the Goldbergs, because Bill Goldberg.
I just like calling it shoulder neck.
I like shoulder neck too. So it comes into play later because there's just a random boat of like local citizens just talking shit.
Oh yeah, they're just watching. So because Alfred is like, I don't know, tied between two pyres, stakes, logs, I don't know, giant sticks.
It's like Karate Kid Part 2, and I got the sticks in the water.
Yeah, but like huge logs, and there's just like a bunch of people out there, but like, ha ha, just like watching him. So they have cut Alfred's ankles, so he is bleeding.
Wait, is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah.
Wait, did they cut his Achilles or just cut his ankles?
I think they just cut his ankles. It doesn't say Achilles, but they did cut his ankles. So they're like, he's been bleeding for a couple minutes now, and this is shark-infested water, so they are coming.
Blood. So Batman. Okay. So this is there's a few things here.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of things here.
Batman first, as he gets to the pole, the shark's about to attack. Batman kicks the shark in the nose.
Yep.
Now,
actually, a good tip.
Good tip. But here's the thing. I've had this I've had two instances. Two things to say about this. The reason why I know punching a shark in the nose is effective is because there was a cartoon back in the 80s.
Okay.
Called Beverly Hills Teens.
Oh, okay.
And it was on at like 7:30 or 8:30. It was on right before I had to go to like grade school.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like basically what you think,
Yeah.
It was, and there's an episode where the teens were fighting. The teens were in the water, and there was a shark, and one of them was like, punch the shark in the nose, it will leave you alone.
Yeah.
And so he punched the shark in the nose and it's leaving alone. I was like,
Yes.
and the shark was like, ow, you know. And the shark didn't talk, but you could tell he was saying, ow. But the next thing is that there's a joke from Robert Schimmel. He's a comedian. He's no longer with us, but he had a great joke about, I don't know how he gets to it, but it's something about like, yeah, so apparently if you punch a shark in the nose, he'll leave you alone. It's like, what the fuck is that? It's like, if you punch a shark in the nose, you'd be like, well, I wasn't going to eat you, but now I'm pissed and now I'm going to eat you, right? But alas, Batman kicks the shark in the nose.
He does. That's what you're supposed to do, apparently, if there's ever shark.
Frees Alfred and Batman.
And he's like, Alfred, you go swim towards the shore. I'll meet you there. And Alfred's like, what? Have all the fun or whatever. So they're trying to swim towards the shore. This one shark comes, and I guess its fin is sharp, so it kind of cuts.
Well, no, it gets
Batman.
This is before. That's after this. Like, so Batman.
Oh, I forgot about this part.
So Batman, in order to fight the shark, and I don't know how deep this water is.
I don't know, but this is fucking.
Batman seems to be standing in it.
I know he's holding onto the pole, whatever this.
No, he's holding onto the pole, but he's standing in the water.
Oh no,
here.
you're right. So yeah, it looks about chest height.
And it's it's thrashing because there's like a storm.
Mm-hmm.
And the shark is coming out. And it's actually drawn really cool. It's really nice, really cool.
Nice,
like
yes.
It's because there's no like dialogue on this one page. It's pretty awesome. Batman tears apart. Now I don't know if he's still got the gains. So maybe that's how he's able to do this.
Yeah, I mean he's not on the drugs.
He breaks apart an entire pole.
What he does is he puts his feet on it, and then he pulls the front towards him, and it splinters. And then he uses that giant railroad tie or whatever the fuck, and literally as a javelin, and he throws it into the shark.
Yeah, this is where he gets cut. This is where he gets cut by the fin of the shark because apparently sharks have very rigid skin. And
he throws it.
And he's bleeding too. So
yeah. So, but he has extremely good aim.
Oh, great! I mean,
amazing.
As we saw before, he threw that fridge out of the window and hit that car.
Oh, that's right, he did.
That's because of the drugs.
No, it's just his amazing aim. Because he's not on the drugs right now.
No, he was on the drugs before.
Yes, but he was on the drugs before. That just gave him strength. He's always had the aim.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you see.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because he just it was just when he was on the drugs, he was like, I could throw these heavier things more accurately.
Yeah, exactly.
Although I would imagine throwing a giant pole in water at a shark and somehow being
during a storm
and being able to impale it, is a given.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still another shark coming, and so Batman is like, in his infinite wisdom,
because those guys are making fun of him.
Because these guys making fun of him, and they're just these. First of all, get out of the fucking water. You shouldn't even be there.
Right.
But they're into there, and Batman's like, well, we need a distraction. Tips over this boat of locals
and literally says, I hope you have shark repellent.
And it swims away.
So this is Mr. I don't kill.
Yeah.
But he will turn you into shark meat as long as it means he lives.
Yeah. 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 So Batman,
good job.
Batman's up there and he comes up to the doctor. He punches him in the face.
Yep.
And then he gets punched.
Yes, by the son.
By Tall Son. And the general orders him to execute him.
Yes.
And that is it. This is the next issue. We're going to have a conclusion.
Yep.
Very much looking forward to that. I just want to read the letters page here real quick. There's two things here I want to point out. Well, first of all, next issue, Batman goes up against Porter's monsters. And all while he fights the demons from within, it would be so easy for him to give in. If he doesn't, his life and maybe Alfred's maybe forfeit. The dramatic conclusion of one of the most talked about Batman stories ever. So we're getting there. And also, so there's a few things on this letters page, which doesn't have a name yet. Notes. Stephen L. Shrewsbury inquires as to why the letter column is only 1 page long.
How long do you want it to
I don't know. Usually they are. I don't know many 2-page longs, but all right. Gift horse, open your mouth. I want to look in. Simple. To give you more story. Next issue, due to story length, there will be none. So, no letters page, right?
letter. Fuck you.
Also to Stephen, We will not have Batman use gratuitous obscenities or the letter column either.
Oh, wait. This when somebody said it, it'd be like...
We don't see this letter. I don't think we see this letter, but this guy
I'm so sad.
literally wrote it and says, hey, how come your letter column is too short? Also, I want Batman to swear more.
He had to wait for that black label.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Man, can you imagine how happy that guy was? Even though Shrewsbury was...
Oh, he must be so excited right now. He's like, yeah.
He was like, he had a little fucking party, you know? He's like, finally, Batman swearing.
Oh, it's about time. Show me that bat dick.
But is there any swear? Does Batman swear at all in any of the movie? I'm trying to think if Batfleck has any big cursing. He has a shit, right?
I feel like he must say shit.
He has to say shit, I think. At least once.
He definitely says damn, but I feel like he says shit.
He says, what is that name? Stephen L. Shrewsbury was having a time of his life watching Beavis.
Oh, man.
Batman drove his car to that guy's face. It was awesome.
He sure did.
Also, from Leslie Mattias in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Oh, Winnipeg, yes.
People, I have been a comics fan, parentheses collector, for over 25 years. I literally have over 20,000 comics, complete sets of nearly every Silver Age comic. My credentials are quite good, to say the least. And then he just gives like praise to the comic. It's a very big lead up to something that I was like, you were going to say something really snide, weren't you?
Maybe it got cut out.
Or maybe it got cut out. I don't know.
Maybe that's why he's like, I know quality.
He's like, look, I know quality when I see it. And this comic is quality. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
I'm just like, can I see your collection?
Right? I have Action Comics 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, shit. Are you going to put it in a fucking duffel bag?
I thought you could say suitcase, but that's right.
He puts it in a duffel bag. And that fucking, what was it? The Accountant?
The Accountant, where Batman, where Ben Affleck goes, is he grabbing like his own valuables or something?
Yes, because he's like on the run or something.
And he literally goes into a drawer and grabs Action Comics #1.
It's just loose.
Just loose. I don't think it's boarded.
It's not.
It just shoves it into a top.
It puts shit on top of it.
He puts like a bar of gold on top of it or something.
Oh, it's so funny.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I forgot about that, because I thought you were going to talk about how when you go to Comic-Con and it was like right before it was right around Man of Steel or whatever. It was the one thing Henry Cavill was there and they brought out Action Comics #1. And they had it in like a Halliburton or some shit.
Oh yeah.
I thought that's like, oh okay, that's how you keep that. I was like, no, Ben Affleck's like,
no, I just
yeah, put some stacks on top of it.
Yeah, I'm like, shouldn't Action Comics #1 be like sort of kept like the Mona Lisa, like behind like fucking anything proof fucking glass with like,
not for the Accountant,
the thing that comes down, like it's got like the door that shuts. It's like,
yeah, there should be a vault, but no.
Yeah, it's a vault. It can survive an atomic blast. Like that's how serious that fucking Mona Lisa thing is.
A long time ago, when I was doing a Chris Gore thing with Podcrash, and the friend of the show, Kevin Kraft, has a copy of Walking Dead #1.
Oh wow!
And whatever he was doing, he was a part of this event or whatever, and he came with it, and he had it in like a box, and inside the box was a velvet bag in which carried the comic that was bagged and boarded.
Wow!
That's how he carried his.
But was
Walking Dead #1?
Was it graded?
I don't know if it was graded. Maybe it was graded. I don't know. I didn't get a good look at it. At any point, but that's how he carried it.
Wow.
Ben Affleck in The Accountant
just said fuck it.
Just says fuck it
to his Action Comics #1.
This Winnipeg man was probably very upset by that. It's just very difficult for him to watch. Anyways, that is Batman Legends of the Dark Knight #19, June 1991. Wow.
It was a journey to get here.
Honestly, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to unpack here. I mean, honestly, Batman is fighting a shark undercover. How is there not a lot to talk about?
It
is.
I'm just saying.
It is out of its mind. Anyways, thanks for listening. We already said our stuff at the top, so you already know where that is. But of course, get your podcasts at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. You can find us there. Angry Hero 79, and you can please rate and review the podcast. That would be really appreciated. I would enjoy it, and we look forward to finishing off this Batman Venom saga. I'd like to see what happens if I'm going to predict that Batman, one or two things happens.
Okay.
He kills Tall's son, or
like kills him, or like on purpose, or not.
I'm going to say on accident, but it's an accident that could have been avoided.
I don't know if I'm going to go with that.
Either that or he shows him mercy and then he just and nobody gets killed.
I'm going to assume that they do die. I'm going to say it's not Batman's fault though. Okay. I think it's going to be one of those things that I don't know. Maybe he could save Tall Son, but Tall Son chooses to like go back and help his father. And that's when they both die type of thing. Like being like, oh, he died with humanity or whatever. Yeah.
Or what happens is Tall Son goes to save his dad in a boat, and Batman pushes over the boat.
That could also happen.
And the sharks eat Tall Son.
Maybe Batman will pick up a shark and throw it like a javelin.
Yeah, he's gonna do the inverse.
Yes, and it will eat Tall Son's head. Like he'll throw it and it'll like land on his head. And
in his last bit of sixth strength that Batman developed from taking Venom, he will throw a full-size shark at Tall Son, and
that sounds right.
And win the island. Oh my God!
I think that's actually accurate.
Yeah, that was good. All right, folks. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.